What if I told you there are not only 3 types of devil fruits, but actually 13 types of devil fruits you probably didn't know existed? What's crazy is there are even objects, non-living objects that gain devil fruit powers and even have minds of their own. The world government even tapped into these broken abilities to create the most powerful beings ever. Some of these abilities are so dark and evil, they can't even be called devil fruits. And those are the insane powers of the 5 elders. There's actually a crazy theory that suggests the gorosei are not devil fruit power users. Rather, they are actually the devil fruits themselves. The gorosei showed their true forms when they all gathered in Egghead to ultimately kill Vegapunk, because Einstein was about to broadcast the secrets of the world to everyone, like literally everyone in the world via a transponder snail. And in their desperate attempt to kill Vegapunk, the gorosei TP'd to Egghead via mysterious summoning circles and showed their true forms, yokai forms. Saint J. Garcia Saturn was first revealed to be the Gyuki, which is an Ushi Oni that has an upper body of an ox and a lower body of a spider. His presence can even kill lower ranks of Marines, because in chapter 1094, it is said that Marines who are Commodores and below are not even allowed to have an audience with the 5 elders. The yokai forms of the other gorosei are Sandworm of Saint Shepherd Jew Peter, Bakotsu, which is the skeleton horse of Saint Ethan Baron Nusjuro, Fangshi, which is a boar yokai form of Saint Topman Warkiri, and Itsumare, which is a bird-like yokai form of Saint Marcus Mars. What makes it interesting is that the 5 elders' yokai forms were revealed, but the devil fruit of these mythical Zoan sort of powers weren't even mentioned. In chapter 111, Luffy even said they're immortal, since no attacks worked on them. And that was Luffy in his powerful Gear 5 form, throwing all kinds of attacks. So I'm thinking, are they even humans or are they actually demons? And since the gorosei is in a class of its own, I isolated them as the unknown types. Now, aside from this mysterious category, we have the most common types of devil fruits, the Paramecia. Did you know there are 89 Paramecia in the series? Well, 88 if you don't count Luffy's devil fruit, since that turned out to be a Zoan. Some of these Paramecias are so nutty, one of them can literally send anyone into the future, move an entire island, or even destroy the world. There are also crazy ones, like Sugar's Hobi Hobi no Mi, which can turn people into toys with a single touch. Not only are victims turned into toys, but everyone who knew them forgets about them. On top of that, it gives the user eternal youth, which is why Sugar looks like a 9-year-old even though she's actually 22. She's basically the Frieren of One Piece, but she on demon time, like the girl straight and evil one. Big Mom's devil fruit is another overpowered Paramecia because this mommy can manipulate souls. If someone's scared of her, she can pull out their soul, steal years from their life, and even kill them instantly by taking all their remaining years. Big Mom is so brutal, she even did this to one of her own sons, Charlotte Moscato, and killed him. Big Mom can also put pieces of souls into objects to make them homies. Wow, I think I need this power, because I'm lonely as hell. No dates, no girlfriend, no friends. Okay, that's enough. Anyways, Big Mom's homies reminds me of like the furnitures in The Beauty and the Beast. Now here's a crazy theory, like damn, maybe Big Mom is actually a Disney princess. I mean, if you think about it, just wait. She has magic hands and hair. Animals talk to her. She got kidnapped, and her problems were solved because a big, strong man showed up. My guy, she's a Disney princess. Prove me wrong in the comments. What's also interesting is that just like Zoan fruits, Vegapunk has recently figured out how to copy the Paramecia fruit by using the DNA of real Paramecia users to replicate their powers, which I'll explain in full detail soon. But aside from Big Mom and Sugar's devil fruits, one of the most well-known is Nico Robin's Hana Hana no Mi, which is pretty handy, literally, because it can grow any body parts, and I mean any body part, wink wink, that can be used for assassinations or spying, okay? I don't know where your mind's at, bro. I'm just talking about assassinations and spying. Plus, would you believe that Robin's devil fruit is actually a part of the 4 subcategories of Paramecia? And what if I tell you that one of them is so special, it has powers similar to a Logia? So, the first Paramecia category is body alteration. It changes a devil fruit user's body in many different ways. One of the best examples is the Suke Suke no Mi, the devil fruit that our guy Sanji is simping for his whole life, because it can turn its user invisible. Or highly offensive fruits like this shoddy who ate Toge Toge no Mi, which lets her create sharp spikes from her body that can pierce through solid stone. Baby 5 had a crazier offensive devil fruit. This girl can turn into a sword, a gun, and even a goddamn missile. Another one is Daz's devil fruit that can turn any part of his body into a blade, giving him mad slashing abilities and making his skin tough as steel. Also very handy in the kitchen. And did you know that this crazy power was even copied by the world government to create the strongest weapons? Yes, I'm going to be explaining them when I talk about a surprising type of devil fruit that you might not have heard of. There are also highly defensive devil fruits like the Kira Kira no Mi, aka Twinkle Twinkle fruit. Yep, I know, that might sound cute, but this fruit is tough as hell because it can turn its user into a diamond, making them really tanky. And it's super tough, it can easily block attacks from the strongest swordsman in the world. But the next Paramecia subcategory is way overpowered, and that is environment manipulation. These subclass Paramecia let the user control their surroundings. One of them can even destroy the world, the Gura Gura no Mi, which creates huge tremors causing earthquakes and tsunamis. That is why this devil fruit is considered the strongest Paramecia. Another example is my favorite, Admiral Fujitora, who can change gravity. He's so strong, he can slam people to the ground, create bottomless pits, and even pull meteors from outer space. Yet the most broken one is the Ope Ope no Mi. It not only messes up the environment and its targets, but it can also cure any illness. This fruit can even grant eternal life, which is why it's called the ultimate devil fruit. And did you know there are some Paramecia fruits that can both alter the user's body and once used can even change the environment? Like the Choki Choki no Mi user, who can turn their arms into scissors to cut anything like it's paper. So the third subcategory is substance creation. This type of Paramecia can create specific substances, kind of like Logia fruits, but there is a big difference. Unlike Logia users, they can't turn their bodies into natural substances. This category usually includes man-made stuff like Doflamingo's Ito Ito no Mi, which lets him create endless strings to slice his enemies. Aside from his devil fruit, he also literally pulled the strings when he took over Dressrosa and controlled the people like puppets, pun intended. Another example is Mr. 3's Wax fruit, which lets him produce candle wax from his body and shape it however he wants. Once the wax hardens, it's as tough as steel and resistant to some acids like Magellan's Hydra. To be honest, I thought Magellan's devil fruit was a Logia, but it's not. According to One Piece logic, Logias are natural elements, so Magellan isn't a Logia because his devil fruit has man-made powers. There are also unique substance-generating fruits like our boy Bartholomew's Bari Bari no Mi, which makes unbreakable barriers, and the Hoya Hoya no Mi, which summons a genie. Then there is Perona's Horo Horo no Mi. This one can generate ghosts with different effects. Perona's ghosts can make people feel emotional damage when they pass through them, or even explode. Plus, the user can have their own ghost and leave their body. Now, if substance creation is way different from Logia, there's a subcategory that is exactly like Logia, and that is the special Paramecia. The one and only example is Katakuri's Mochi Mochi no Mi, which lets the user create, control, and transform into mochi, similar to Logia fruits. However, just like substance creation, Mochi Mochi no Mi is also based on a man-made substance, while Logia fruits are based on natural elements. Just like Zoan fruits, Paramecia can also be awakened, but their awakening is the same as environment manipulation. Similar to how Katakuri can change everything around him into mochi, the same goes for Doflamingo, who can turn the whole area into strings. If Paramecia is the most common, Logia devil fruits are the rarest, well except for Mythical Zoans. Did you know there are only 13 known Logia users in the entire series? Yeah, no cap. Google it, or even ask the fandom gurus. Logia users can turn their bodies into natural elements and control them as much as they want. Since they can turn into elements, these guys are untouchable. They can automatically pull themselves back together if they're hit, whether it's from punches, cuts, or even losing a limb. But they stop being invincible if their enemies know how to use haki. However, some Logia aren't as invincible as others, like Blackbeard's Yami Yami no Mi. Unlike other Logia users, Blackbeard can't become untouchable. Instead, he can nullify other devil fruit powers by absorbing his enemy's abilities. Other crazy Logia users include Karasu, who ate the Suit fruit, allowing him to generate, manipulate, and become Suit. In case you don't know what Suit is, It's the black powdery stuff that comes from burning things like coal, wood, or oil without enough air. It shows up as fine particles in smoke and can stick to surfaces like the inside of a chimney or pipe. So what's crazy about this devil fruit is, it's not the same as Kizaru, Aokiji, and Aikainu's Logia. Karasu can literally transform his suit into a murder of crows. I mean, he can transform them into living things. Plus, he can use them for combat, send messages, deliver newspapers, and each crow is strong enough to carry a person. I know this Logia is nuts. And can you believe that Caribou's devil fruit is deadly as hell? Seriously, this guy can create inescapable bottomless swamps. It also has some other advantages. Caribou can use his own body as infinite storage. Think of him like the icky version of Doraemon. Yet the deadliest Logia fruit is Aikainu's Magu Magu no Mi, which has the most devastating power, not just in Logia, but among all the devil fruits. This devil fruit has the highest offensive stats. It's so strong that according to Oda himself, if Kainu were the MC, he could end the One Piece series in a year. And it's so powerful, it can tear through bodies with ease, just like how Akainu melted Whitebeard's face. Even if you have a Logia devil fruit, Akainu doesn't give a damn, because this guy can easily turn you into a donut. I mean, even the former Admiral Aokiji lost his leg fighting him. Don't get me wrong, I also hate Akainu, but I can't deny it that this guy is like definitely one of the strongest characters in One Piece. Now, did you know that the strongest devil fruit users fall under the subclasses of the Zoan types? Let me make it simple. Zoan devil fruits allow the users to transform into different kinds of beasts. Actually, they can transform into two forms. Number one, hybrid human beast form that levels up their strength and speed. Number two, full beast form where they can go wild with full power of the Zoan devil fruit. Rob Lucci's Neko Neko no Mi model leopard is a perfect example of extreme strength and speed boost when he transforms. But that's not all. These wild and crazy Zoans can become 10 times more powerful when the user achieves the rare awakening of their devil fruits. We saw how powerful awakened Zoans are when Kaku and Lucci transformed during the Egghead Island arc. What's even more interesting, did you know that the Zoan devil fruits are set to have a will of their own? Vegapunk Shaka mentioned that an awakened Zoan's powers absorb and control the user's personality. In Lucci's case, he simply overcame the will of his devil fruit and completely accessed its powers. But that was not the same with other Zoans we saw way back in Impel Down. These are the 5 jailers: the koala, zebra, rhino, minotaur, and the chihuahua. These guys became totally crazy and got stuck in their Zoan forms. They might look like they're dumb, but these jailers are the most feared creatures in Impel Down, probably second only to the warden, Magellan. Now here's another crazy fact that's gonna blow you away. Aside from humans, animals can also consume Zoan devil fruits. Interestingly, they can possess other animals' features and abilities. Remember Gonfall from Skypia and his weird bird, Pierre? This pet actually ate the Uma Uma no Mi and started acting brand new because Pierre's hybrid form is basically a cheap copy of Pegasus. Other than usual animals and beasts, there are also rare Zoans that fall under 2 subclasses. These types are even stronger and more powerful than normal Zoans. The first one is the ancient type. These Zoans are basically prehistoric monsters, you can say. Yeah, some of them came straight out of Jurassic Park. Aside from the strength and speed gained from these devil fruits, these ancient beasts possess max DPS, damage per second, and defense stats, making them super tanky. Did you know that all known ancient type Zoan users became subordinates of Kaido? And 6 of them are modeled after dinosaurs. Some of these are King's Ryuryu no Mi model Pteranodon. This dog possessed an insanely powerful ancient type Zoan. Aside from his bonus stats, as a goddamn Lunarian, King, in his hybrid and full beast form, can use his wings as a shield and wield them just like blades. I know, right? Like, this guy gets laid. Then there's Queen's Brachiosaurus. His tough dinosaur skin, in his hybrid and beast form, can easily shrug off powerful attacks. Plus, he even has a secret technique that he said was the ability of his Brachiosaurus, and that is, he can shoot off his head down to his tail out of his body. It looks kind of whack, I'm not gonna lie. But it can surprise the enemy and restrain them like a snake. Even an armament hockey user can't escape, like when he caught Sanji off guard and strangled him. Now that's clearly for the plot, it's cap. Because Brachiosaurus couldn't have done that in real life, you know what I mean? Another one is Sasaki's Triceratops form. When he transforms, he can use the frills, you know, the cone-like part in his neck, as a propeller to launch insane attacks. Like Heliceratops, where he literally flew like a helicopter to launch a series of whirling slashes. Now, aside from the Jurassic Park gang, there are also Zoans from the Ice Age such as Who's Neko Neko no Mi, model Diego. Saber-toothed tiger. His massive fangs can shoot biting shockwaves that can even penetrate through armament haki. And Jack's Zozo no Mi model Mammoth. His massive trunk and tusks in his full beast form can easily clear and destroy anything in his path. He totally trashed the mighty strength of the Minx and almost destroyed the ancient Kurao city in Zou. But the rarest types of Zoans don't just possess monstrous physical forms. This type is even considered the strongest among all types of devil fruits because of their broken abilities. And that is the Mythical Zoan. These types are so strong, their transformations have the powers of legendary creatures, and some of them are considered gods. One of the strongest Mythical Zoan users is Kaido. He ate the Ua Ua no Mi model Seryu. Kaido's massive Azure dragon is not just tough, he can also clear mountains with his powerful blast breath. But Luffy destroyed him when his Gomu Gomu Devil Fruit turned out to be the Mythical Zoan Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. Bro went from unusual to Looney Tunes. Then he even awakened the power of his Devil Fruit where he can turn whatever in his imagination into reality. Like bro literally became a god, the sun god, Nika. And let's not forget the former fleet admiral Sengoku with his Hito Hito no Mi model Daibutsu, who can transform into a giant golden Buddha and launch attacks that can produce destructive shockwaves that even this mofo Blackbeard couldn't stand a chance against. Then there's Marco and his Tori Tori no Mi model Phoenix. His offensive and defensive powers are top tier when he transforms into a full mythical phoenix. And that's not all. His blue flames of resurrection, aka the flames of regeneration, have immense healing abilities to the point that everyone thought that he was a Logia. And the Snoo, Katarina Devon, with her mysterious devil fruit, Ino Ino no Mi model Kyubi no Kitsune, which can transform her into Kurama. A nine-tailed fox where she possesses the ability to turn herself into clones of other people. I'm just wondering, are there any conditions before Katarina Devon can copy anyone? Because it's kinda sus when she touched Saint Saturn in Egghead and said, mission complete. Could it be like Bon Clay Cha's Devil Fruit, where he needs to touch the target first before he can copy and paste them? Other than these people, there are two known animals who have eaten a mythical Zoan fruit. Remember the white fox in Wano? That little guy ate the Hito Hito no Mi model Onyudo, which allows him to transform into a massive monk yokai. The other one is Dakyu's lame horse, Stronger, which ate the Uma Uma no Mi model Pegasus, which is crazy because he's already a horse, right? So that's just a minor power, kinda. But who knows? Just like other mythical Zoans, he still might possess crazy powers that are yet to be revealed. What's even crazier is, aside from animals, there are also objects that gained the abilities of the Zoan type and became Devil Fruit users. Now, let's go a step further. What if I told you that when these objects absorbed Devil Fruit powers, they even acquired minds of their own, and they can also turn into hybrid and full beast forms, like Cypher Pole's Spandam's sword, Funkfried, which ate the Zozo no Mi and can turn into an elephant. Another object Zoan is Mr. Four's bazooka, Lasso, which ate the Ino Ino no Mi model Dashant, that literally makes it a gun dog. Even Caesar Clown Smiley is a Zoan. This monster is actually the poisonous gas in Punk Hazard, which absorbed the Sera no Mi model Exolotl that made it look like a big ass jelly Whooper. Then there's Kozuki Sukiyaki, aka Tenguyama Hitetsu, who has a teapot named Bunboku, which basically transforms into Rocket of Guardians of the Galaxy, but with a teapot on his back. And if objects can possess these kinds of abilities, scientists have even discovered a way to replicate these powers. Like Caesar Clown, a former mad scientist, and literally a mad scientist because of all his shady experiments, managed to create an artificial fruit called Smile that gives the powers of a Zoan devil fruit. Here's the catch though, only 1 out of 10 fruits is actually successful. The other 9 will just turn the devil fruit eater into Joker, laughing their ass off, even when they feel sad, angry, or basically any other emotion. But Kaido don't mind these consequences, you know? He was like, I don't give a damn. This guy just wanted to build an army of beasts with all these artificial devil fruit powers. That is why his crew consisted of gifters who got lucky and ate the successful fruit, and pleasures who took the failed ones. Still, these successful smiles aren't really successful, they're more like abnormalities, because instead of having perfect hybrid or beast forms, these artificial devil fruit users look like they came straight out of circus freak shows. However, another fellow mad scientist was almost completely successful in replicating a Zoan type of fruit. What's crazy is it was Kaido's mythical devil fruit. Dr. Vegapunk nearly copied the same devil fruit that Kaido has, and Momonosuke accidentally ate the fruit Vegapunk created way back in Punk Hazard. Momo gained the same insane powers Kaido possessed. The only failure of that fruit was, instead of an Azure dragon, Momo is a pink dragon. And aside from these artificial Zoan fruits, would you believe that Vegapunk was able to replicate Paramecia abilities without actually creating a devil fruit? Remember what I mentioned earlier about these powerful beings? Vegapunk created the Seraphims, arguably the strongest weapons of the world government. Take S-Hawk for example. He's already powerful enough, being cloned from the strongest swordsman, Mihawk, but he got a power up even further by having Daz Bones' Supa Supa no Mi, where he can turn parts of his body into blades. S-Bear and S-Snake, on the other hand, are almost complete copies of Kuma and Hancock, since they also possess the former warlord's devil fruit powers. And S-Shark, Jinbei's counterpart, also gained the powers of Senior Pink's Sui Sui devil fruit, allowing him to swim through the ground and walls. With these insane abilities of the Seraphims, I'm just thinking, how strong are the clones of the remaining former warlords, Crocodile, Moria, and Doflamingo? So, how did Vegapunk create these Seraphims, which he called the strongest form of humanity? The Marine Special Science Group used the lineage factor, aka blueprints of life, of the Lunarian race to clone the former 7 warlords of the sea, and added green blood within their bodies that enabled these clones to duplicate the powers of devil fruits. You see, green blood that is substituted into the bodies of the Seraphims is made from the lineage factor of Paramecia devil fruit users. That is why these clones are granted full access to the powers of the devil fruit without the need to consume the fruit itself. But that wasn't the only thing they got. These clones even had the feelings and emotions of the former warlords. When S-Snake met Luffy, she had an instant crush on our guy, just like how Boa fell for him. This might be why Luffy and Hancock could be one of the future power couples in One Piece.